For those of you that are joining us, we have a very, very special guest today, eight-figure Amazon seller and founder of the amazing Data Dive. And he's here to share, everything not everything, but, let us know, how he uses the tool for product research and just give us his insights into, basically how he does product research and hopefully it helps you guys. So, thank you, Brandon. It's an honor to have you here today. And yeah, I'm really excited to, learn from you more.
No, absolutely. You have always been awesome and done a fantastic job with your product development and product research. You jumped into a very competitive category
Yeah,
very early on. I apologize. I'm just trying to get this going. I just got off a long drive, going to get some hydration.
no worries. Yeah, you just had the ecom event, right?
Yeah, we were in Cancun for Camp Ecom, a few days in paradise learning, lots of workshops. Sean was there.
Nice.
Um, but I guess the premise is that it's not just an event where people go and they talk at you from stage, but you're actually hands-on computer learning while someone's talking, guiding you through it.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've always had that um, you know, education with people where you don't just give them knowledge, you really like show them how to do it too. So I can only imagine how, how good it was of an event. I wish I could have made it, but it was my son's birthday this weekend, so
Amazing. No, it's that's an acceptable reason, obviously.
yeah.
What I want to do is maybe start with any product ideas that you or anyone watching have that we can go to look at, and then what I'll do is I'll share my screen. And then we'll just dive into the niche. We'll look at the different data points. We'll evaluate the product. And I have a special surprise because we're actually developing a GPT within Data Dive, and we're going to tease a portion of it really soon. Maybe even release it as early as next week. That's going to help you evaluate with AI how to maybe make a better product. But you have to feed in some of the Data Dive data to really enrich it.
Nice, nice. I can't wait to see that. I know there's already like AI with the listing builder and stuff, and it's super cool and so helpful. So, I mean, the more AI, the better, right? The easier our lives get.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the direction everything is going
Yeah.
for sure, is just AI assistance. So we want to build it into every section of the tool. So do you have a potential product you want me to analyze? Do you have one that you often look at or that you want me to just pull up and do?
I can think of one, but if any of my students, have something in mind they want to share, they're free to share it. Otherwise, I can, ring a product off the top of my head. Um, give it a
Yeah.
second. Does anyone want to drop something in the chat or no? Okay. Yeah, let's look at some kids soft play stuff. I mean, I've been looking at that a ton because, I'm looking to get something for my son. I just got him a little jungle gym, so want to
Well,
see.
you'll have to send me your address and I'll send you over some stuff from our brand.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I mean, you're full of kids furniture and toys and stuff, so I mean, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, let's dig into something there. Let's do play tables.
Sure.
Did you want something soft?
No, I mean anything like that. Yeah, tables, soft play, all of that.
Okay.
We can dive into any of those categories.
So here's an interesting idea I just had off the top of my head about the kids' soft table. So I'll share and then we can get going. So I mean, the way that it'll work is with Data Dive. Once you download the Chrome extension and you sign up, Shamin has a code for you guys to get a discount. And the way it'll work is you'll have the Chrome extension, and from the Chrome extension, once you search a keyword, you can build a niche one of two ways. The fastest, quickest way to really dig in and just look at a broad scope of a niche is to use what we call our niche dive function. And so let's say that we want to use this play table as an example, or we want to use something that is fast moving. So these are sponsored ads, they're a little bit slower, but 800 bought in the last month. So this is a plain wooden, classroom style table. Here's a plastic one and a wooden one. And so this is going to be big and bulky. It's going to require a little bit more capital usually because it's a little bit higher price point. You have to ship it a certain way and get very good at logistics. So there's barriers to entry with a large product, which is something that I like to look for, especially now that, you've got tariffs and a lot of competitors in the space. Maybe you can find a direct factory and create a relationship, or you can get this made maybe near shore. So this is a product, but how would you differentiate a plate table like this? And so one of the things that I originally just start to think off the top of my head is, maybe designs, right? So sizing, packaging, having an advantage on price points is usually, you know, something that you can do that's more temporary, but it's a good entry point. So like if I've got a table and I just find a better way to package it, maybe I take this same long table and I cut it in half, and then underneath I connect it with brackets and it's just assembled, right? Or it's assembles with pegs into each other. It takes a little bit of engineering, a little bit of tooling, but if I can save, instead of paying $27 for fulfillment because it's big and bulky, and I'm only paying 14 or 15, I've just built in $12 of profit into that product. So I can sell it now for 69 and I'm still making more profit than this competitor. So my margin is much higher too, and I'm able to disrupt the market. So that's one way to think about it. The other would be around design. So this is a plain table. What if we did a top that had designs on it for writing, for practicing writing? You see the tables that have like the blocks on it. But what if we did something that was here, that was, or it comes with mats. Maybe we can create separate vinyl mats that you sell with it so the kids can write, and maybe it's like a dry erase thing. You could see that they're writing on the top of the table. But maybe we want to guide them and make it more educational, and then we can feature different tops up here and make this main image much more lively and exciting. And it just appears to be so much more value you're getting for a product. So this is the way that my mind goes with product development, is like I don't want to just launch the same thing, but I really want to be disruptive. And so you have to put yourself in the position of what a parent's looking for. What do they want? So one of the things now, what we're going to do is we're going to just tear into this niche. We're going to understand how are people searching, what are the keywords people are looking, using to find this product and look for this product. And then we're going to ask the AI, like, how can I make this product better? Then we're going to evaluate the product risk across many different questions around how good are the competitors at SEO? Are there enough keywords? Is there enough margin, right? Profitability. So those are questions we need to answer to understand, well, should we really move forward with this product? How much risk is there to do this product? And we've built all that into Data Dive, luckily, to really help you out. So let's take this guy since he's one of the best. He's got 800 sales. This is a more plain one, but this might be disruptible as two. And it's a two-chair set. This is a two-chair set. This is a square versus longer. So let's take a look and use this as our seed. So I'm going to click the niche dive button. And what Data Dive is going to do is they're going to go through and try to find related competitors based on the way that this listing is written and the subcategory it's in. And then it's going to curate that list and bring it back to you. Now, it's going to have a bunch of products that might not be related. You don't select those. But it's going to do something with an algorithm we wrote called the fit score. Now, this is the fit score right here. And if you sort by the fit score, the 15 highest rated fit scores, which means the products that Data Dive thinks are most likely to be the same or similar, are going to be automatically selected, but we don't want to keep those. So we have to do two more steps. The next step we're going to do is go through these and deselect anything that isn't actually what we're trying to compare. So maybe we don't want to do the plastic ones. So we're going to get rid of any plastic ones. And so we've got that other one there, another two piece. All the wooden ones we'll stick with. These all look very similar. You've got, this is more of like that's a really small one. Maybe we'll not do that one. This is kind of cool, but it's a little too big and bulky in that sense. But it's a really way, these are interesting ways to differentiate, right? This looks like it folds out. It's for really, really tiny.
Look more like an
This one,
adult's table.
this looks like a miniature version of an adult's table. Absolutely. This might be plastic with wooden legs. I mean, this looks really, really tiny and bad reviews, but we'll look at it, right? We want to compare it. This is really cheap, flimsy plastic chairs. This is super, super tiny. I mean, and then this one's got, now look at the way they designed this one. So they've got licensing. So licensing is a great way for us to also enter a market and create a moat. Anything you can do with IP is great. But we're going to get rid of that one. I'm going to add maybe one or two more from this list down here. And then what I'm going to do, the next step is I'm going to sort by sales because what I want to do is make sure I get the fastest moving competitors. I don't want to miss those guys because they have a lot of data. They have a lot of keywords that they're ranked well for, that they're generating sales from somewhere. And the question we're always trying to ask ourselves is how are our competitors getting their sales? And if we can answer that question, then we can try to at least duplicate it. So this one comes with a whole bundle. That's a whole playroom set. That's very interesting. That table and chairs look super, super small. That's the only reason they can sell it for so cheap. There's just a sand table. So this is not what we're looking for. We just want to make sure none of these fast movers. And you could see some of these are selling 5,000 units, 2,500 units. Like this bundle here is really cool. This is actually a good idea, I think. 2,500 units, even though it's poorly rated and very small. Parents want it for the very little ones, right? The very littles. And then there's a Spider-Man set. There's a little chair. There's a wooden one, Melissa and Doug solid wood. Now they're a little bit more higher price, but it's Melissa and Doug, huge brand name. And I think, we're going to probably just stick with these. We've got at least 12. I like to have somewhere between 10 and 15 in order to really run a dive. So I think we're kind of there. And you've got more of the licensed. Okay. So we've got kids table. We've named the niche. And we can even call it and chairs. And then we're going to dive. Now, what we do when we dive, what the software is going to do now is it's going to look at every one of those 12 competitors and try to understand which keywords are they ranked for, even on page 12. So that means indexed. Indexed means that Amazon thinks it could be related. So you show up somewhere. Like I said, it could be even page 12. But we know that page 12 doesn't generate sales, so it's probably not related. So what ends up happening is once we look at all of these different products, we have to put the keywords into four buckets. The first bucket is going to be the most important. That's going to be this master keyword list. And so what you can see here is all the competitors, the 12 competitors that we chose across the top, some information about them, right? So the keywords on page one, the sales, the price, the outlier, search volume will go into what outliers are, how many variations they have, which is very interesting that you need to look at, how long they've been a listing, right? The longest one is 7 years, and then these other guys are less than 2 years old, which is interesting. This is 12 years, and so there's a few newer ones in the market, 6 months, barely a year, and then under 2 years, and they're doing really well with sales. So the market is disruptible in that way. Now, this master keyword list, what we've done is we've sorted all these keywords that have at least 450 searches per month and at least 30 relevancy. Now, because there's more than 500 search terms, some of these keywords got bumped over to another list called the residue. The residue are basically every other keyword that didn't make your master keyword list or your outliers list. And so you can see here that that goes all the way down to 50% relevancy because there's so many keywords for this product, which I love products with a lot of keywords because I'm good at finding keywords and optimizing for them. So this one, everything with 50% and under 2,000, well, all the search volume underneath 50%, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to look also at the outliers keywords. These are the keywords with at least 2,000 searches a month and under 30% relevancy. Now, these are keywords that have maybe some branded search terms. They're more generic terms. They might have, and by generic, I mean maybe it's a wider categorical keyword. Maybe there are multiple products that can fit underneath that keyword. So here's an example. Kids activity table. We saw that there are very specific activity tables, and that's not what these are. specifically. But remember, this guy has six variations. I wonder if he has an actual activity table as a variation, and he doesn't. It's just colors. But he was able to still index and rank for that because kids can sit there and do activities. But it's not like the table that flips up that can stick the Legos, they can write on it. It's a water table. It's like all these things in one, but they're still able to rank pretty good for it, which is why they've got 5,000 sales a month and the next guy only has 2,000. So what we're able to see is that this Delta Children, this bestseller, selling more than double the second guy has an additional 256,000 search volume that he's ranked well for in the outliers bucket. An additional 38 keywords. And we want to see what those are. Look at this. He's number one, two, three, four. He's top 10 for all of these keywords. And if you look at what they are, it's play table for toddlers, baby table, playroom furniture, very generic. Kids Activity Table, Delta Children. Now that's a brand name. So they have a lot of branded search, which means this is actually an established brand in some capacity. You only get brand search if you have some kind of presence outside Amazon usually. So that means that they either run their own traffic to their own website, maybe they're really good at TikTok and people come over here to look instead of looking and buying it on TikTok, or maybe they're in a furniture store like Walmart, right? Maybe they're in the kids furniture section of Walmart or Target. And so that would mean that people see them in the store and then they come over here and they search for them. And that's why you would have branded search. So anytime you're seeing that, usually that's the reason. And just to prove a point, I mean, we had a Melissa and Doug. If we look at the master and keyword list, we've got three keywords from Melissa and Doug. And on the residue keywords, we've got 35 keywords with Melissa and Doug with an additional 100,000 search volume. So absolutely massive, including just their brand name has 100,000 searches a month. So Melissa and Doug Table is only 1,000, but their brand as a whole is very popular. So we're able to see those keywords. And if we look at the outliers, we look at others. Now we can kind of get an idea of painting the picture, I call it. So how is everyone getting their sales? Does the story make sense? Why is this guy number one? Why is this guy number two? And so on. And if we look here at the master keyword list, we can see that what we consider to be very strong are these first sellers here, which means that they are ranked. And this is a dirty keyword list, we call it, which means there are keywords in here that we would probably remove that we can't rank for. So there might be branded search terms like the Melissa and Doug keywords. There might be more Delta Children keywords. We would remove those from the keyword list before we go write our listing or launch PPC, probably. So it's a dirty list, which means these guys are actually stronger than this appears. But what we consider very strong is at least 80% of the search volume on page one, and that's here. So 100%, 98%, 92, 91, 81, and it usually goes fairly good in order. Now, QFun is a year old. They are ships from and sold by Amazon, so they are 1P. And even though they're weak, they have no outlier search volume. You can tell that they are ranked and doing well with some amount of sales. Let me see. Their sales are 1,100. So they are converting pretty well. Maybe it's a price point thing, but they do have a lot of keywords here that they are. If I sort this first and then I go to Q Fun, yeah, they have decent adjustable kids table and chairs. Maybe that's why it's so good because it's adjustable and they've got the adjustable niche. So again, I want to dig in a little bit more and you can see, yeah, it looks like you can adjust these legs if you look at them, which is really interesting. Isn't that cool? So you have multiple settings for the tables and chairs. Now, the biggest problem and pain point that you're going to have as your child grows is that they quickly grow out of clothes, they quickly grow out of furniture, and then it's kind of you got to donate it and buy another one. But if it's adjustable, that's huge, right? So maybe this height adjustable thing that's in their title is a very big selling point, and it seems to be doing really well. So one of the things that my mind goes to from there is, Are they the only adjustable one? Do they have a patent on this adjustable system? Can I create a different adjustable system if it's patented? Maybe I should make mine adjustable too because of that, right? Like it seems like there's a market for it. We just saw search volume for adjustable here. So that really tells me that I've got to be looking at the adjustable side. Now, these guys are ranked for adjustable, but I don't know if they actually are adjustable. I don't think they are. So that means that it's wide open. I don't imagine that they're converting extremely well on the adjustable furniture side. So again, basically step one was kind of just get a lay of the land, understand where everyone's getting their sales from, make the story make sense. Step two now would be to clean up this list. So remove keywords from here that don't make any sense, that I can't get sales from, and then add to this list keywords from the other two buckets that I can get sales from. So I would go through the outliers and the residue bucket and I would kind of bring them over. Now, before you go through all that trouble, you might even want to evaluate whether you should even do the product, right? So, because cleaning up the master keyword list can be a little bit of a timely process. So, maybe you want to jump straight over to the product scorecard. Now, what we've done here is we've written all these different questions within these four categories. And one of them is competitiveness, and you can see there's a lot of competitiveness questions, the potential for new packaging, for fulfillment, for patents, for designs, differentiation. And once you answer a question, for example, let's say the reviews, more than seven of the top 10 competitors have more than 1,000 reviews. That would make it very competitive, right? So if I open up a new tab over here and I visit the master keyword list, let me look at the reviews. Now I noticed a lot of the sellers were newer, so I don't think the reviews are going to be crazy. But let's look at the reviews really quickly. Where did ratings? So 15,000 for the guy that's been around for 7 years, but 300, 600, 6,500 for the 12-year guy, and then 300, 100, 100, 500, 1,000. So out of the top 10, I'm only seeing like four guys that have at least 1,000 reviews, which isn't too bad. So reviews, four or more of the top 10. Oh, it exactly hits this one with four, which is a negative. But if it was less than four, it'd be a positive. Now, that means more or less risky. And then after you answer all these questions, you're going to have a total product score. Now, that total product score is basically the risk. And as I answer things either negatively or positively, I'm going to end up going through this whole list. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to get this score. Now, the way that I look at the score is that it's a risk score. So the risk score is going to be from zero. If it's below zero, because it can go negative, that's a basically a do not touch for me. Like even with how good I am at Amazon, I probably will avoid that product. Just it's over. There's a few major issues with the product that make this product way too risky to do. I'm not going to do it. Now, between 0 and 500, I still consider that a very risky product. Now, if you're very good at Amazon, you have a very good strategy, and you really want to, you know, diversify your portfolio of products with a bunch of low-hanging fruit, easy or lower risk, and then go after one big market, maybe then you can go into that. But if you're new to Amazon, if you're just starting, you probably shouldn't go there, is my opinion. Now, between 500 and 1,000, I would say that's a medium risk product. That's a product that you can consider for a first, second, or third product with no problem. But you really have to understand the market. You have to understand the differentiation. You have to really have a good plan to win in that market. Now, above 1,000 is low risk. You're going to win on that product the vast majority of the time. You know, at least 80, 90% of the time, you're going to make money. And so you can do 50 or 100 different product dives and scorecards. And by then, you're going to find one, two, three products that are lower risk. You're going to find a handful of medium risk products, and you're going to be able to really decide what direction you want to go. But the key is that it's a numbers game. You just want to always be researching, always be filling out this scorecard with new product ideas and just go after it. Now, let's say I get something that's six or 700. The next step for me I might do is to run an AI product brief. So I'm going to select some of these competitors here. Maybe I don't need all 10, or maybe I'll do 7 or 8, and then I can analyze selected competitors. What this is doing now is it's using AI to go read the reviews and the listings of those competitors that I selected. and it's going to come back and answer a bunch of questions. What are the different product, features that each of them claim to have? What do people like about the product? What do people dislike about the product, which is probably one of the most important things? And then the AI is going to give us suggestions on how to make it better. Now, AI is still growing and getting there, and this can take a few minutes, so we can skip around. But the idea is that we're going to dive in and read what the AI thinks we should do to make a better product, which is pretty cool. So let's say we get this AI product brief. My next step would be to go differentiate the product, right? I might go do a quick sourcing run at Alibaba and get an idea. Can I sell this for a profit? Which I probably had to answer in the product scorecard. And then I would run to, let's say, ChatGPT or to Midjourney. And I would take one of my competitors here. Let's say I take this one, and then I can run over to ChatGPT, and let me jump in over to ChatGPT.
I love, by the way, how you said, you have to run like 50 to 100 dives before, you find a good couple product ideas. I think a lot of people think, they can just look at two or three products and then, start launching and they'll find something right away. I think
Right.
that's a big misconception with a lot of people is it takes time, right? You have to get good at product research. You have to look at a lot of products before you find those good opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's the biggest takeaway for me is that people want things fast and easy, and nothing worth getting in this world is easy, right?
Totally.
And this is a very hard business with a lot of data, a lot of learning curves, and you're going to be successful only a percentage of the time. And it's going to be the people that dedicate the time to really learn it and to be resilient when they fail and learn from their failures that are going to end up building a multi seven figure business. And we've seen it done hundreds of times. But the people that think it's a side hustle, the people that, and it can start out that way, right? Like you're coming in working a full-time job, and you're going to launch three, four, five products over the course of the next 2 years. Maybe it's year two that you can step away and actually, do this full time, and that's okay. But you're going to eat, breathe, sleep, live your brand and your products in order to make it successful. And it's going to be when you're not working and you're not doing some family time, you are working in your business. And that's got to be the way it is to be successful. And it's going to be the people that want it the most, that really understand what it takes, the grit, that have the grit. Now,
Yeah.
let's take a look at this product and say, I want to design this kids table and chairs set um, in wood with a design on top. I think this would work better as a unicorn design. Uh, uh, Write me some product requirements and design requirements to place a unicorn on top that would be most likely to catch the attention of a parrot shopping. So I wanted to write the requirements because I want to read through the logic of the ChatGPT and make sure it's in line with what I'm thinking, right? So I wanted to know what I'm selling and what I'm doing. So there's a solid wood and non-toxic paint and lacquer finish. Set includes one table and two chairs, soft pastels, safety and durable. Materials, construction, solid pine, rubber wood. Okay. Legs should be reinforced with support bars. And let's add something here. I forgot to say. Let's add leg extensions that are adjustable so that the set can grow with the child. So we're already getting an idea there, and we didn't even finish really going through the AI suggestions, but we're gonna go back and look at what Data Dive said to do. But the adjustable leg design, screw on or click on leg extenders, material, same solid wood or strong color match ABS plastic. That's probably better, right? Attached mechanism, design aesthetics, unicorn integration, optional etched designs or decals on the extensions. That's pretty cool. And marketing and packaging update. All right. Mock up the main product image with white background. And we'll see what ChatGPT comes up with based on the requirements that it gave us. Now, this is really cool for an initial concept. And what I've been doing is I'm even using this to try to use licensed products or IP so I can go pitch the those brands. Now, sometimes I just get a generic version. So if I want to pitch, Disney with Little Mermaid, for example, I probably have to do a generic mermaid. And then in post, I have someone in Photoshop put the Little Mermaid, and then I can pitch that idea to Disney. But it would be a product I haven't even manufactured. It would be a product that I know I'm capable of manufacturing. I've done the research on how many I can sell, and then I go ahead and do it. And as you can see, I mean, right away, we already have a wooden table with a beautiful unicorn design. It even incorporated the unicorn on one of the chairs, etched. It did the etching as we spoke about. Let's see how it did with the leg extensions. There we go. And it has these leg extensions on the bottom. I don't know how they work, but like we would figure it out. But at least gives us some kind of direction, right? To start with. I think that this product is worthy enough in one attempt to go test in PickFu or in Product Pinion or in IntelliV, whichever three of those market testing tools that you teach or use, um, to go see if we would win versus the competitors. So I would end up going back to the competitors, right? So I'm going to end up going back over here to the competitors, taking their main images from each of these top three sellers. And I'm gonna go, since I did the square one, I'm gonna take the best, this first and second one as the two best, right? And this one, the Melissa and Doug, I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna go test it. And if I win that poll, I'm going to go far deeper into, sourcing, product development, really, really understanding. Now, this is after I validated that I have enough money to do this product. So we have a profits tool you can fill out to really, really get how much money you need. What is your budget required? And now we're very conservative there, but we want you to make sure you have enough capital. One of the reasons people fail is because they don't. And let's go take a look at the AI product brief and see what it said. So ergonomic round, ergonomic. So a lot of them spoke about the design being ergonomic. Even for a little child, that's important. You want them to be comfortable, right? Materials are solid and non-toxic, non-toxic, solid, wood. Usage is reading, playing, multifunctional, arts and crafts. They've got really, really the activities keywords, remember from the best one. So you got all these different features and functionalities, which is cool. You can select those. What do the customers like? Well, they want it to be sturdy, stable, very sturdy, easy to assemble and put together, good quality, great quality, adjustable height. Look at this. I guess this one is adjustable in height somehow, right? Yeah, this is the adjustable height one, which is really neat. How many others are adjustable height? Is this one adjustable height? Yeah, that one's adjustable height as well. Adjustable height. 32 times this one was mentioned as adjustable height too. Yeah, and look at that. So it looks like the adjustable height is really in demand, and customers mentioned it in their reviews a significant amount of time. So we have to make sure we include that, right? Now, if we come over here to what do they dislike? Difficult to assemble, missing parts, arrived damage, cracks. This is all quality control and assembly. So we want to make sure we have something easy to assemble. So we're learning what not to do, right? We're learning what to improve here. Sometimes you get a lot more information on how to improve from what, what people criticized and the failures of your competitors. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to say, okay, how do we make this better? What are the value add ideas? Well, clear and comprehensive instructions, that's really important. Enhanced quality control, durable and safe, height adjustability. Boom, we got it. Ergonomic design, very important. We didn't even think about that. Graffiti friendly surface, so able to write on. Like that's another thing that's super important. Anti-skid, so it doesn't slide around if it's on carpet or, it needs good or on wood. It really needs to be able to, stay in one place so the kids are stable. Um, Let's see. So here's the desired improvements. Improved assembly process. Ensure all screw holes align properly. This is a quality control thing. Enhanced stability, high quality materials, waterproof and durable, comfortable, consistent colors, safe and not toxic, efficient shipping, user-friendly height adjustment. So we really nailed it, right? And then here's who typically buys it, which I find super important. The creative parent who values creativity because it's a table that a kid can really dive into, write on, do their activities on, right? You want to really go after those. That's one of the main parents that buys this. Safety conscious. So they're prioritizing safety with the children's furniture. So non-toxic materials, rounded corners, sturdy construction, eco-friendly, savvy urbanite, living in a compact urban environment. So it's got to be, able to be packed away or very compact. The Montessori enthusiast, the homeschooling parent, the daycare provider. So, an owner of a daycare might buy multiples, and design conscious decorator. So, we've got all of the details we need to go and launch, potentially this product after we start designing it and sourcing it and building something better. Once you really understand the picture and how to win. So Data Dive gives you all of these different tools, but it still takes you diving into it, into the clues and into the tools. And this is why we're building agents into it, because we want to make it even more clear than what the AI product brief tells you. We really want to have an agent that, does some of these initial how to make it better analysis from this data. What keywords and routes are really driving the most, sales for these competitors? And what we do is we break down that master keyword list into repeated words and phrases for you, which is really cool. So you can see like how are people searching? Well, 275 keywords on that 500. Right now, it's the dirty master keyword list with 500 keywords. Over half of them and 500,000 search volume include table and chair in it. Table chair. So kid, toddler, set, kid table, chair set, kid table, chair table, toddler table, chair set. So many different ways. And then here's your Spanish terms. You have ages being mentioned a lot, it looks like. So for 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 1-year-olds, 7-year-olds. And maybe you have different sizes you can offer, but it is adjustable.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, right? It's so important to look at the roots and see what people are searching for. Because if, say, for example, you just decide to launch the chair or the table without the chairs, well, you're missing out on a whole bunch of search volume and customers that want the set, right? So,
Yeah, if they're mentioning table and chair and set and chair set, right? Like this is the majority of the people searching here for these products.
yeah. So this really helps you, understand what type of product to launch also. You don't want to just launch a table without chairs because you're gonna, miss out on a whole bunch of sales.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then once you've got that curated, you decide to launch your listing. I mean, we've got the listing builder. We have a brand new AI feature here, which is in beta, where you can write the listing with Cosmo and Rufus in mind. So those are Amazon's AI platforms. And maybe what I'll do is first I'm going to I could have just hit the X. Give me one second. Let me populate one of these competitors here. Oh, here it is. Let me populate in one of these competitors. Here's QFun, one of the newer listings. Okay. It's going to take their title and bullets and put it in here. And then let me come over here. And let me show you what happened there really quickly. So you can see that these are the title, bullets, and descriptions. And you can see that what they've written where. And green is exact form. So they have kids, table, and chairs. Biggest keyword in exact match in the title. Look at this. Kids, table, and chairs set. And they even have the table and chairs set. Now they have a broad match and plural match, on a lot of these other keywords, but the biggest keywords are covered in the title. Now they don't have the Spanish term and they don't have toddler anywhere in the title, but they do have toddler. Oh, they do have toddler in the title. Oh, but it's just so far away. It's not considered a broad match. So they have toddler activity table. So really between the title and bullets, they have all the roots covered, like these biggest, most important roots here. They've got a few gaps here that they can improve. But for the most part, they've written this listing pretty good. And we can even evaluate that by looking at their ranking juice. And you can see that they are the second highest for their total listing. And in their title, they are down here number 6. So this guy's actually, Vivor is the highest of the ranking juice. As a matter of fact, he might be using Data Dive. But let's look over here and write the listing with Cosmo and Rufus and math. So this is basically understanding behavioral patterns because let me explain this from back up. Amazon used to just look at the keywords that were in your listing and then draw relationships between other search terms. And if you didn't write it in your listing, it would have trouble drawing those relationships because you needed to match it needed to do it mathematically with match types. And so you would get the most credit with an exact match, but you would get probably 70% with a plural match, 50% with a phrase match. And a phrase match means like a keyword that has your root that you wrote or that they searched, it has it in exact form, but it doesn't have the rest, right? So you're getting most of the keyword there, but an exact match. And then your broad match would probably be 30%. And what they've moved to now is now with two titles. You're noticing like a lot of these categories are starting to have two titles, where they have the main title and then they have a subtitle. And this category doesn't have it rolled out yet. But what you'll see is when they start to roll that out wider, what they're looking for is that main title still is a keyword match place, but then they're going to use AI to understand who buys your product and why are they buying it using AI. And then those same AI is going to read the keywords, the search terms, and relate them to that behavior and to that audience. And so it uses two forms of AI. Now, the AI is also reading your images and your A plus content. So you can write these contextual clues, audiences, use cases into your images, and you'll get picked up for a lot more keywords now, too, which is really good. But we wrote this title here, and you'll see that the AI wrote it and it covered all these keywords. The title was crafted using the Cosmo Rufus framework by prioritizing the most important product features while incorporating high volume search terms. I used natural language that flows well with strategically placing key noun phrases like kids table and chair set, toddler activity table that match search intent. The title clearly communicates the product's primary benefits, height adjustable, age range, and use cases, art, learning, drawing, to maximize relevance both for algorithms and human shoppers. Boom, right? So this is a big breakthrough in what we've built into Data Dive, and it's still in beta. We should be rolling this out wider very soon, but this took a lot of training and agent that we have internal to us to really understand Amazon's AI. So we trained an agent on the math behind how listings work and their mathematical algorithm. but we also trained it on how Rufus works and how Cosmo works so that it can write the best listings given your master keyword list. So, pretty cool breakthrough here.
Huge, huge. That makes things so much easier.
Yeah. Now, if we come back over here, we can continue. And now we have the new, and we've got overall, we've got the titles, not the highest again, but that doesn't matter. And then we can see how we did from a keywords perspective. We ignored the Spanish. We have the toddler. Oh, maybe I didn't populate it. Oh, let me come back over here. Oops. Ah, I gotta rewrite it. I should have, was there a populate button I missed? We gotta fix this flow a little bit. This is the fun of doing software.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay. Okay, should be any second. Okay. So my listing, keep it. Okay. I like it. And why didn't it populate when I hit continue? I think I just hit continue, right? Oh boy. I need to make sure I do this right. What is this?
It's okay. It's in beta.
Oh, oh,
There you
there it
go.
is. It fixed it. Okay, good. Now we're good. And if we look over here, let's see the title. Our overall went up, and you can see what we used. So we've got title, bullets, and description. We ignored the Spanish. Toddler desk and chair set isn't covered, which is interesting because it is, right? Um, we opted for toddler activity table, but the toddler keyword is too far apart to get credit for that one again. And then you can see how we use the roots. And maybe we can add this one in manually, the kids table chair. Yeah, something like this one with the ages at it. But for the most part, we were able to really read something. So let's see what it did for the bullets. This is what the AI wrote on the bullets. Height adjustable design. It picked it up as the most important factor for the parents based on the feedback and everything that we read and the keywords. Height adjustable design. Table features 7 height levels. Oh boy. That's a lot of engineering. 18.9 to 23.6 inches. Chair offers 3 positions from 10.6 to 12.2. It just made that up. So we have to make sure that we're accurate here. And then spacious. 23.6 to 23.6 inch tabletop. So gives you that. And then it's sturdy construction, supports 330 pounds. It actually hit two of the most important features and benefits that it showed that the parents cared the most about in the first bullet, which is really cool. And it's readable, right? It's not just keyword stuffing. Safe construction for children, durable plastic materials, ensure long-lasting stability, non-wobble. Now, remember, we're actually going to build a wooden one, so we would have to go back and change this. And if we go back over to the master keywords, I'm very curious, how often is wood mentioned? We've got 15,000 search volume here, 27 search terms. Outliers has 57 keywords. And then how often is plastic mentioned? Very little. All long tail keywords and residue. And remember, they're probably looking for those cheap sets that we saw, right? And so there's a lot of long tail, like low relevancy keywords. So I would say that we're definitely onto something by going with a higher demand product like the wood. And we have a design that I think would win, that we can go test. We validated the product, and We analyze the risk of it, we analyze the profitability of it, and this is kind of the process of what I do to develop products.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. Honestly, like you just literally went from A to Z, in less than an hour and just let everybody know, this is exactly how you do product research and you're successful. So all you guys have to do is literally just copy exactly what you do, right? So I love the tool. I love how easy and simple it's made the process. I remember when, we were using your Excel sheet to make a master keyword list. So the fact that now, it's a full-blown software with like everything you need from, listing builders to PPC optimization and campaign building and all of that. It's super cool to see, where it started and how far it's going along. So I love it. And thank you so much for, coming here and sharing all your insights and just really, being here and giving your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Send my best to the hubby and great to see you. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
Okay, sounds good. Does anybody have any quick questions to ask Brandon about product research or anything while we have him for a couple more minutes? While I wait for the questions, I have a quick question about your testing. When you use like PickFu or Product Pinion, if you have your design versus like three others, say, are you always expecting to be number one, to take that design and move forward with it, or like what's your standard with testing?
Yeah, if I'm not winning, I'm probably not going to move forward, right? I think that for me, that's the bare minimum. That's table stakes. Because if I'm not winning in a poll with a random audience, I can't expect to get more clicks than them when I'm in search results next to them, right? So that's kind of where my mind is. So I kind of go back to the drawing board and I just, I keep iterating until I am winning. And then I feel more comfortable. And now, just because you win some polls doesn't mean you're going to win for real on Amazon. There's other factors. Your content needs to be great, and your price point needs to be competitive. The value that you convey, there's polls you can do where it shows your price point versus your competitors too, so it looks like a real search result. That's important to win as well. Because sometimes you win on design, but if yours is 10 or 15 or $20 more expensive, people are very price sensitive, especially as the markets and the economy starts to suffer a little bit. So you got to be conscious of that as well.
Totally, totally. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I don't see any questions. So, if any of you guys have questions for me, we'll stick around and we'll do office hours after. And if you're joining on YouTube and you like this video, like and subscribe and comment below if you have any questions and we'll get back to you. Thanks again, Brandon. Appreciate it and have yourself a wonderful day and take care.
You too. Thank you. Take
Yeah,
care. Have a good one.
bye.
Bye
You
bye.
too.